What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be talking to you about 5 things that helped me actually lose weight. Now, these aren't like 5 process tips, like things that I've actually did on a day-to-day basis. I've talked about those in the past. This is going to be 5 things that are more like psychological, mental things that I think a lot of people just kind of overlook these things. So getting right into it, the first thing that was absolutely a game changer when I tried to lose weight this time was that I started to obsess. And not only obsess, but I started to educate myself. I started to look up videos. I started to watch live stream educational videos. I started to figure out what the heck actual macros are. How do they work? What's a protein? What's a carb? What's a fat? How do your body use the 2 fuel sources? How does protein react? How does this whole process work? How do people who are lean and muscular stay so lean and muscular? And why is it so easy for some people to lose weight or just stay fit looking all year round, and then some people like us, we got to try just a little bit harder? I know a lot of people are like,
oh, okay, you can't obsess, like then you're gonna like get yourself in trouble, blah blah blah.
No, actually there's a healthy level of obsession, and when you start to actually educate yourself and obsess for a short period of time over this, you can get a lot accomplished in a short period of time. In a short period of time, like your focus, you have your one goal that you're trying to accomplish, and you just go for it. And honestly, like that first, couple months, like I learned a lot. And with that obsession, and with watching a lot of videos, and with watching a lot of different educational pieces, and hearing a lot of ideas and opinions, I came to a realization it's gonna lead me right into number 2, trusting one process and just sticking with it. So what do I mean by this? When I was watching a lot of these different fitness creators, content, dietitian, nutritionists, there's a lot of contradicting opinions out there. And you're gonna see that if you go on YouTube, if you go on Google, anywhere. There is a lot of different opinions out there. And a lot of them twist their words or twist the way they say it in a way to make it sound like their way is the only way that's right. And that's really just not true. Now, why do they do that? I don't know. I think part of it is they just really believe in their process because they know it works. As for me, I know what worked for me, tracking my macros, and I just know that works because it worked for me and I've seen it work for so many other people. I think that it is important to realize that though many of these different ways can work, depending on what you're trying to do with them, you have to stick to one of them. You cannot bounce back and forth. If you're gonna do keto, you gotta do keto. If you're gonna do paleo, you gotta do paleo. If you're gonna do Mediterranean, whatever. If you're gonna track your macros, track your macros. You cannot do all these random things because you're going to be messing with your body. Like, your body's not gonna know how to react to it. And honestly, you could be like upping the stress level on your body. And your body, what's it gonna do? It's gonna bump your cortisol levels, and it's gonna actually prevent you from losing fat. And that's not what any of us want. So when you're doing all these weird things, you have to stick to one process. And that's gonna lead me into really the third one. If you're sticking to one process, you're gonna have to realize that there's gonna be some lag time. It's going to take time. I need you to realize that it's going to take time. When you start doubting the process, because you will doubt the process, and it'll probably come pretty early, and then probably somewhere down the line whenever there's a plateau, you're gonna doubt the process. Whenever those ideas, thoughts pop into your mind, or you think about switching plans entirely, I need you to absolutely go look at yourself in the mirror and just say, trust the process. And I know that sounds cheesy, sounds stupid, whatever. Like, seriously, go tell yourself just to trust the process. I wanna share just a quick story with you how my journey started. I was, still in college, and I had been a big kid my whole life, so I didn't really know how this worked. I didn't actually, understand what it was gonna feel like throughout the moment. And I thought, like, I work out hard, right? If I eat good and everything, like, I'm gonna lose weight relatively quickly. I'm an athlete, No, that's not how it worked for me. I hit my macros, I did everything exactly perfect, like to the T, for 3 months. 3 months before I started consistently losing 1 to 3 pounds of weight every single week. Think about that. Most people, like, after you get a couple weeks in, like, and you're not seeing results, like, you start questioning everything. And every single day, I'm not even joking, every single day I'd take my shirt off, I'd go look in front of the mirror, and I'd be like, man, I am crushing it with everything I'm doing, but the results aren't showing. I'm still, like, not where I want to be. I'm still fat, you know, like, I don't look anywhere close to where I want to be. I literally just thought to myself in my head, you know, I was like, you know what? You've been big and unhappy with the way you look your whole entire life, pretty much. Like, you're either gonna get worse for the rest of your life, or you're gonna make the change and you're gonna actually get better. Once you do that, I cannot tell you how much more confident you're gonna be. Like, it literally will change your life in so many ways that you don't even realize. So understand it's gonna take time. 3 months for me before I started losing 1 to 3 pounds of weight per week. And I don't know if you know, 1 to 3 pounds per week takes a long time still to lose 85 pounds. It was close to 2 years, and I still think it was worth it. If it took me another year or two, it would still be worth it. I'm still, you know, I'm still not exactly where I want to be. I'm still working. The clock's still ticking. We're still gonna get better. So understand that it's gonna take time. Number four is going to be minimizing the rebound. It's kind of a hard one for me because it brings up a lot of bad memories. And what I mean by that is I had a real problem with binge eating. So along your journey, there will be a point, probably early on, where you're not quite to the point where you're like so extremely disciplined yet that you fall off. Like people who go good for 2 weeks, and then they have a big cheat day, and then they let that last for 2 weeks, and then they go really good for 2 weeks, and then they have a big cheat day on accident, or they have a bad day and it just ruins them, and then it's the yo-yo dieting that you hear about, right? Well, the truth is I'd kind of been in the middle there when I would be doing good, and then I'd come into a situation, maybe socially or whatever it is, a holiday or something, and I would eat like maybe one thing bad. I would instantly think like the world was gonna end after eating. Like,
oh my gosh, like I just ruined everything.
Everything was bad, right? And then I would then gradually fall into this trap of like, okay, well, I already ate bad today, I might as well continue eating bad the rest of the day. Do not compromise that way with yourself. Like, yeah, you shouldn't have had that. Who cares? Like, you already ate it, you can't change it. But that doesn't mean you go ruin the rest of the day. And Jeremy Mullins, my coach, one thing he says a lot of times is, hey, if you're going down the road and you get a flat tire, would you get out and flatten the other 3? No. You would literally go fix the tire and continue down the journey. And I just think that is such a good way of putting it, because it's exactly what we're doing, right? We're getting out and we're flattening the other 3. And then later down the line, we have to compromise and go fix 4 tires. Come on, like, it just frustrates me how I used to be. It just really frustrates me, but I'm sharing it because I think it's real for a lot of people. And a lot of you are gonna have similar situations or have similar experiences where you've already done that. And it's just being real, right? But that being said, we're gonna go into the 5th and final thing that really helped me finally lose the weight. I tell you, the other thing is carrying this thing. My shoulders are getting tired. All right, number 5. Not everybody around you is going to, what you might call, be supportive, or what I would like to say is not everybody around you is going to understand what it is you're doing. Understand that the norm is not, unfortunately, the norm is not being active, being fit, and just being healthy. It's not the norm. And I do think that is changing a little bit in society, but it's definitely not the norm for a lot of people, right? Understand that when there are people that are very close to you that either don't support you or just don't understand, is like how I like to look at it now. When you get the results, I've had so many friends that come to me and say like, hey man, like, dude, how did you do that? And I'm like, to you were some of the people out partying and drinking when I was on the, crushing my goals here, going and getting the gym, and you guys were out partying. That's how I did it. I went to the gym. I sacrificed a couple nights of going out to ultimately change the trajectory of my entire life. You know, a lot of times, like, it's those same people that come to you and ask you how you did it. And it's true. And I've even got one buddy that's lost over 100 pounds now, and it's so crazy and so motivating of how life works, you know, and how this process can work. And it is going to be a part of your story, and everybody's story is going to be a little bit different. So understand it is normal that people that are even close to you are going to tell you you can't do it. And it isn't until you get those big results that you're going to have some hands clapping for you maybe. Ultimately, that's what you just have to do is make the decision what it's going to be, how you're going to do it, and just go for it. And yeah, that's really it. Those are the realest things that like came up over and over again. And finally, after I came to the conclusion of all these things, I was like, wow, what else can I achieve? I would have never started this channel had it not been for this journey. And now I feel obligated to help more people do it because I just see how much it can impact my life. So as always, guys, I don't want to keep rambling. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. And please go after this journey. If I can do it, you can do it. I love you guys. Appreciate y'all. God bless.